video I want to talk about boot camps. On the Facebook groups that I'm a member of, I see a lot of questions like, should I go to a boot camp or should I go to college? Or will I get a job after doing a boot camp? So as a recruiter with over 20 years of experience in software engineering, I wanted to give you my view of the 5 things you should consider before doing a boot camp. Please stick around to the end of this video, as I will give you my view on whether I think doing a boot camp is worth it and under what conditions. One point I want to make is that learning in software engineering, maybe unlike in some other fields, should not start or end with a boot camp. There are new versions of languages, frameworks, software coming out every year, sometimes more frequently than that. IT is a constantly changing field. If you're not committed to continuous learning, then maybe software engineering is not for you. In this context, the bootcamp is simply to get you a good foundation quickly. You will need to learn afterwards. You will need to learn for your job. New skills will come up that weren't there before, and you will have to learn them as well. The next point I want to make is that bootcamps are hard. Now, this might seem obvious, but one person in my Facebook group described it as the hardest thing they had ever done. And if you think about it, you'll know why. You're trying to take what most people spend 2 to 3 years studying and learn it in a few months, 3 to 6 months. And it's that time pressure that makes it difficult. It's like if someone asked me to cook dinner for my family in an hour, well, that's something I do pretty much 2 or 3 times a week. It's fairly easy. But if I have to do it for 30 people in 1 hour, then that makes it really hard. So, following on from my earlier point, you have to spend time preparing ahead of the boot camp. When people go to army boot camp, unless they have done some pre-training, they're going to get an injury pretty quickly and wash out. So likewise, you have to prepare if you want to get the most out of it. The next point I want to make is that boot camps can't promise you a job. Even if they could do that, would that be a kind of job that you want? Many people on the Facebook group I'm a member of did get a job quite quickly afterwards, but some did not after a few months of finishing the boot camp. So here is what I would say as a recruiter, is that you need to be looking for a job even before you start. Job hunting takes time, and maybe not sending out applications, but certainly networking, talking to recruiters. You need to be doing those kind of activities from the start. My next point is something that maybe people outside tech don't quite realize, is that technical interviews are hard, even for seasoned professionals. So you need a boot camp which will help you prepare for that. As a minimum, there should be some coverage of data structures and algorithms, but ideally some kind of technical interview prep would be good. My final point is that look at it from the point of view of an employer. They don't really care that much about which boot camp you went to, which university you went to. What they really care about is whether you can solve the problem they're having. Now, as a recruiter, when I've had to fill roles, typically it's because there's a big backlog of work and we need someone to clear that backlog, to help us clear it. Or someone has left the firm or the company and we need to fill that position. So it's really about solving our problem of not having someone to do this work, rather than, oh, this person has been to X boot camp or not. So as long as you can demonstrate through the interview that you've got the right skills and you also have a good attitude, you fit in with the company, you'll go a long way towards getting the job. So considering all of that, should you do a boot camp? Well, I would say it depends on where you are with your life. If you have the time and money, then yes, maybe do a college degree, as it can be a better long-term investment. If you're short on time and money and you can afford a boot camp and you're quite sure that you want to get into software engineering, then doing a bootcamp can be a good option to give you that initial knowledge that you need to get your first job. However, remember, as I've kind of already said, neither a bootcamp or a college degree can guarantee you a job. You need to take into account the other things that I've mentioned in this video. If you're interested in getting into software engineering or learning to code, please check out the other videos on my channel, and see you on the next video.